On this channel we like to feature many different pressure washers, but we rarely get to cover one with such a huge bundle, so today we're featuring a limited edition AVA Master P80. So with this machine you get a 10 metre steel reinforced hose with an extra 8 metre extension hose, giving you a combined total of 18 metres. It also comes with a patio cleaning head. You get 6 different nozzles. You then get a mop flow head for cleaning things like windows, bins or even vehicles. And if you want something more heavy duty, they throw in a brush attachment too for cleaning things like garden furniture. And it doesn't stop there, because they also throw in a 90-degree angled lance which comes with the bundle, along with a foam cannon and an extension to go on the already extendable lance, so there's plenty to keep you busy during the summer. As it was quite wet outside, I thought I'd take this opportunity to give the grounds around the studio a quick spruce up, as I'm planning on making a few changes to improve the area, and I don't often mind cleaning patios when it's raining outside. But you do have to be careful anytime you use anything electrical with water. I also thought I'd take this opportunity to use the basic snow foam cannon, as it's not something I'd use for everyday car cleaning, as the premium foam cannon doesn't waste as much product. Now you can turn down the chemical on the foam cannon, which gives you an effect like this, but when you crank it up to full you get something like this. Because the 10 metre hose wasn't quite long enough, I did have to switch to the extendable hose, which helped me get across the entire area that I was pressure washing. If we just take a quick glance at the steel reinforced hose compared to the extension hose, you can see there is a slight difference. The thing is, with this extension hose, it does coil up quite easily, so before you start using it, it's a really good idea to take the hose and try and level everything out the best you can, otherwise it will start coiling up like this, for example. Now the thing is, with these hoses, they are only extension hoses. They're not something you're going to be using 24/7, but they will get you out of those difficult situations when it comes to not having a long enough hose. The patio head was going fairly decent until I caught a few stones which flicked up and it stopped the arm from spinning. And it did take me a few minutes to fix, but all in all it did do a very good job. I do however wish it had a water fan that came out to the front to lightly push away the dirty water, which is something the Karcher K-Series T-Racer patio tool does really well. Mind you, the P80 was so powerful I could literally fly through the job faster than normal, and thankfully it was pretty light to handle. Next up, it's the turbo nozzle. Now this is the most powerful nozzle they offer, and I strongly advise you don't use this on anything like your car or something with very old paint, because if you do there is a high risk of damaging it. And to prove it, you need to watch this clip carefully. Whoa, that's immense.
Oh yeah?
Oh, look at that. If used correctly, it's an amazing tool and it will get you through a lot of hard jobs. Right, next thing on the to-do list is to clean up these garden chairs. They've been sitting in the shed for about 7 years, so I thought today would be an amazing opportunity to try out this little brush attachment. And also I'm going to be using a few of these different nozzles combined with a chemical, so I will be using the foam cannon yet again, but I'm also going to use a universal cleaner, so we're just going to mix it up a little and do a few different variations. Look at the power of this. Really powerful. Both chairs came up perfectly as expected, so it didn't make much difference with the chemical, as it was only light dirt, and I did like the extension lance if you use it as a shorter lance. So let's talk about the foam cannon, and as some of you know, I've used this many times in previous videos. The quality of the foam is great, nothing wrong with that, but sadly the consumption is just too high, so unless you're quick you're going to be wasting too much product. So you're far better off using this on a low foam setting and using it for things like patio cleaning or cleaning furniture, for example. In my opinion, the premium foam cannon is king. That's got better consumption, it's got 3 jugs for you to use different chemicals in, and I just think it's an all-round better performance. The next tool I want to feature is this right-angled lance. Now these are a great idea if you want to get underneath the vehicle and you want to clean any of that road salt or that mud or anything that you wouldn't normally get with a standard pressure washer lance. Now it's all well and good for somebody if you're using 2 hands like this and you're in full control, but the problem is if you try to do it with 1 hand, things can get very serious. Now normally if you're going to be working underneath a car, you wouldn't switch it on until you are securely underneath, but what happens is because you're holding it like this, you're going to find immediately, as soon as you hit the trigger on the pressure washer, this is going to drop down violently like this and hit the ground. So you have to be very confident about using it. Ideally, I would recommend using this tool only on machines less powerful than the P80. So something maybe like the Easy P60 at maximum. Other than that, I don't think this tool is suited with this machine. Now this quirky little tool right here is called the mop flow head, and you would probably use one of these mainly on things like your windows or maybe the front door, but there are several occasions where you might like to use it on your car. Now as a detailer, I would say I'm all against using something like this on your vehicle. However, not everybody is a professional detailer. Ideally, people just like to get their car cleaned and that's it. So not everybody's going to be totally turned off by using one of these, and they can help you get around the car quickly without getting soaking wet. And another thing to remember, if you're cleaning lorries, vans, or even caravans for that matter, you can attach this extendable lance with the mop flow head onto the already extendable lance, and it will give you better reach. So there are plenty of different scenarios where you would definitely benefit from using something like this.
The 4 nozzles did everything I expected, so no complaints here.
So I think it's about time that we judge the pressure washer on its own without all these different tools. Now let's start off with some of the things that I liked about it. Well, first of all, the power was immense. I mean, you're never going to find anything like that on any other domestic pressure washer. I'm pretty sure of that. And also you have this 10-meter hose, which is generous enough. And I think for most of you, that's going to be plenty good enough. But because they've chucked in this 8-meter cable, it kind of sweetens the deal a lot more. You also get a very generous cable here as well. But speaking of the cable, this is when I have to get a little bit negative, because unlike the AVA P80, there's nowhere to reel this one up. In fact, all they really give you is this rubber belt, which it just doesn't quite work. It's not something that I would like to be doing after I finish using it every single time. I'd rather just reel it up, put it away, and job done. And I also feel like because it's got a plastic hose reel, it doesn't quite feel as strong as the AVA P80. I know I keep referring back to that pressure washer, but that literally ticked every single box that you could ever want out of any powerful pressure washer. The thing is with the Masters, they've been designed in such a way that they could put them in a box, send them out so you don't have to do any assembly, unlike the other models. And now I want to talk about the nozzles, because we have 6 different nozzles here, but to be honest with you, I can make do with just these 2. The Patio nozzle is absolutely incredible. You know how powerful that is, you saw in the clips. But then we have an adjustable nozzle here with 3 different settings: wide, narrow, and a bit of both. And when you are using it on the double setting, where it's basically using a little bit of both, you're not going to be using full power. It's just nice, soft, and gentle, so you can use it on a wider range of surfaces. So for me, I don't think I'd personally really need to use those 4 nozzles, because I'm happy with the ones I've got. So I do have mixed opinions about this pressure washer. Although I love the power, I'm not really a massive fan compared to using something like the AVA P80. Just my own personal preference. I just like the usability and all the ergonomics from that machine compared to this one. Now, if you really are undecided about pressure washers, I really do urge that you check out the AVA website and do have a look at some of the other models they have there, because there's so many different variations on there. For me, my personal favorites are always going to be the easy models. They all come with 12-meter hoses. They're really good value for money, and they pretty much do everything you would expect. And if you're not sure on AVA and you want to try 2 different brands out, then I have 2 videos you can go and watch right here.